Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back with another deck profile here. After I posted the Numeron sub-tier list from last week, I felt like I wanted to change gears, test a few things. I think that this list that I've came up with, it's not actually the sub-tier version. And the reason being is because after testing that one, it's a great deck. It's just a lot harder to play when you lose the die roll game one, and all I play is game ones or game twos, game threes. We don't side, so like I want to see how good the deck is going first and second all the time. So after doing multiple testing, I did test the Pot of Extravagance build. That build is not good. It's not awful, but it's not something you would want to play with. The build that I listed, I would play way before the Pot of Extravagance list. Also, the Memories of Hope card that people are putting in their deck profile is the one that's like, hey dude, play Numeron Network, summon 3 to 4 dudes, draw 4. That's just a fairy tale. That doesn't exist. If you see that in the deck profile, don't fucking watch it. That card is fucking terrible. It's like the worst, dude. Like I played just a bunch with it today, and I'm almost gonna throw them in the trash. Actually, Memories of Hope cards. If that's even the fucking name, I don't know. Card's terrible. But so I completely switched gears, and I was just like, hey dude, like I want to talk, I want to test a build that I think would be good going first and second, and it's one of my favorites too. It's Infernoid Numeron. So after doing, we tested since about, I want to say 9 a.m. It's currently 8:30 p.m. We just got done testing a little while ago. Kind of sitting here, and I was like, I'm gonna throw this up because I'm actually very happy with how this deck performed. I'm gonna go over some ratios, some combos. Not combos. There's not really a combo. It's just kind of like I showed in the last video, where like you open this, so you do this, right? So A to B. It's not like the Infernoid build where you just go second and play like fucking super poly and evenly and break your board and fucking all that. No, you are great going first and you're great going second. So I was tired of losing die rolls, and I was, sometimes if you win the die roll, you go first with the going second deck, and they make you go first game two, and you're just like, well, this is terrible. So I want the best of both worlds. Best of both worlds. Whoa, sick! Sorry, I've been drinking, guys, as you could probably imagine. It is Saturday. Happy Saturday, guys. But after testing this for hours, I found out like a bunch of like niche interesting things that I wanted to bring to the light. Maybe people would enjoy it, maybe test it. It'd probably be pretty good. All right, so first card is obviously 3 Numeron Wall, and then 3 Decatron. These are the only quote-unquote normal summons. Obviously you never normal summon this ever, but it's I do play Monster Gate, and that's a card I really want to get into. And then obviously Decatron card's insane. It turns into whatever you want it to, so so there's that. And then for my one-ofs Infernoids, I do play the Entra. I think Entra is really insane because like against a bunch of matchups, like you can do a whole bunch of things. Like even the mirror match, like not mirror match, but like Numerons in general, you can imperm them and then bounce the fucking Zexal or even Salamander H. You can summon this. It's 2k ass, and then you can bounce that. Also, one thing I do want to specify is like side decking with this deck. You can side like Lava Golem, the Kaijus, any of that stuff, because you can always go second and then just do the OTK with your Numeron network and then just crash into the, how the combo works, where you just all your dudes go really huge and then you win the game. But Entra was really clutch today. I think that card's good. One Harmadic. I think this card's good for utility. I like to play a small number of the smaller Infernoids and a small number of the big Infernoids. I think this is like the perfect ratio for me that's worked out. Harmadic's pretty good. It does a lot. Like it baits a lot of things. And I just, it also makes Hita. So, Hita's a card, but and then 2 of the Patrulia. This card's insane, MST. Like if you lose the die roll, MST, you know what I mean? So, or going first, even it's just an extra body to make the cards. It's just good baits and stuff, you know what I mean? So, obviously the small ones can't tribute themselves to banish on your turn. They can only do that on your opponent's turn. Then we get to the big ones. The one Sajetti, whatever you want to say. This dude. Infernoid players know that if you fucking this card, you'll draw this often at some points. I didn't draw it as much as I expected today. Excuse me, which I was happy with. The card's still not entirely bad. The Banish 2 is kind of bad, but You know, you have to play it for Void Feast and such. And then 2 Seistamas. Honestly, he's one of the best ones in the deck. The fact that, like, he just non-target banishes is just really fucking good. And, this deck is just so, like, if you don't already have this core, you invested in the Inferno core, I would do so. I know the deck's kind of, like, up middle range right now, but I would do it before, you know, it potentially goes up. I'm not saying it will, but I think it's a very good investment. And then what a Tondel. Some people don't play a Tondel. I really like a Tondel. Sometimes he's just big enough. You know what I mean? And like a lot of the time when you resolve Imagination, you just want him there. You know what I mean? And he's really good. Plus the the DD Crow during their player's turn for the big guys is just insane. And then 2 Deviati. You know, this card is Heavy Storm. And then it also tributes a dude, negates a monster effect, banishes it, so it's insane. It's a banish 3, but its card's wild. And I think the 2-2 ratio for the big guys is where it's at. And then obviously 2 Anunkuds, and he's Dark Hole, but negates spell and traps and banishes them. That comes up a lot, especially like Salad matchup, the Eldritch matchup. Even the Numeron matchup. But you know, this card's insane. I don't mind drawing it. And then the reason I'm really excited about this deck, or like why I was super happy about this deck, was the 3 monster get. I really want to talk about this card for a minute. So I don't think this card gets enough love that it deserves. Like in this deck especially, I haven't seen people mention this. So basically this is kind of like Rhoda for Numeron Network, unless you hit Decatron. But even if you hit Decatron, you're still milling, you're still getting any guy you want, you know what I mean? So the card's insane, but like, you know, you can summon an Infernoid, like Harmadic, or the smaller ones, and then do something, right? And then you can monster gate it, get it off the board. Sometimes it hits Numeron Wall, right? And then that automatically gets you Numeron Network. So it's kind of like a pseudo Rhoda for Numeron Network. In that fact, also you can side the the Layer of Darkness field spell. I don't main it currently. I haven't done enough testing with that engine. I think this build I'm really happy with how this turned out. And then obviously 3 Void Vanishment. Card's insane. Discard, add a Void spell or trap. And then it's like DD Crow, or not DD Crow, DD Warrior Lady if your dude's battle or whatever. Which is especially helpful in the Eldritch matchup, the Salad matchup, and then 3 Imagination. This card's just you know, shit all fusion, but entirely a lot better, you know. And then obviously the Numeron cards, 3 Numeron Network, and then 2 Calling. This is very standard. The only thing I do want to talk about is sometimes it hasn't come up yet for me after hours of testing with this, but in theory, right, you could like Monster Gate and then mill both of these, in which case that happens. It's kind of like playing like Driver or something, you know, Cyframes where you draw the Driver and not the Gamma. Gamma's a great card. I was gonna play it, but like every single time I've ever played that card in my entire life, I've always drawn Driver and never resolved Gamma. So like sometimes it's like what works for people instead of like what the card effect actually does. So I was just happy with this. I do want to test, you know, Gamma or whatever. I would side it, something like that, but I'm just not a huge fan of that card because it's never worked for me personally. I'm not saying it's bad because that card's broken, but you get what I'm at, you know. So anyways, sick, and then so that's that, and then last spells, 2 1/0s, obviously Terraforming, and the 1-for-1. This card's insane in this deck because it gets Numeron Wall or Decatron, so you know, it's just, you know. And then for the traps, I obviously play 3 Impermanents. That's pretty standard, and then 3 Void Feast. A lot of people don't know that like you can like Vanishment if you open one of these already. A lot of people don't know that like you can, you know, Vanishment discard, search this if you already open one, and then set both. And then you'll do this one to send this one, and then you can chain this to send this, and then it resolves both. People don't know that. It's just something I wanted to point out, just because it's crucial at sometimes when you open two, because that card is it's just like game almost, like, you know what I mean. Like, another reason I think this deck's better than the Guru version is because, like, you can resolve this, the Void Feast, to get the 2 Decatrons and the Sajet, and then those will protect the Zexal from being impermed or whatever, because you'll just be like, stand by these, you won't even trigger the Zexal yet, send, and then you'll be like, after that resolves Zexal effect, they can imperm it, you'll negate it, and then you still have this Sajet DD Crow, you know what I mean, so it's just a whole bunch of disruption. And then the extra deck, once again, this is up to your preference. This is what was working, insanely for me. This is why I don't like the Extravagance build, because sometimes you will banish, if you're playing Extravagance, like the multiple Zexals or, more Numerons than you want to. But obviously one Zexal. And then this was a list I said in my last video. After I got more comfortable with the deck, I did cut to just one of each, a 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just one of these, because this is what you need for going first and second. Because, like, if you're going first, you'll summon 3 guys to make the Zexal, right? You'll only summon 3 of these to make Zexal, right? But if you're going second, you need 4 for the OTK play. If you side deck or, whatever their board is, because mostly everyone knows how the OTK works with that deck. And then only 1 Tierra. I want to play 1 more of this, but I'm still in the works with the extra deck. This is just what's been insane today. I've changed the extra deck like 14 times today. So 1 Tierra, and then 1 Omega. Like I said, you can side the Gambling stuff. This is basically for when you resolve the Tierra, send it to graveyard to put back one of your banished guys, put them back in that. You know what I'm saying? So, and then just a bunch of Link 2s, Cerberus, Phoenix, the 1 Hida, Link 3s. I do play the Equimax, because Infernoids, this is like, the bee's knees, bee's tits actually. 1 Unicorn, just for spot removal. You can flex this out however you want. 1 of the BLSs, and that rounds out the Link 3s. And then for the Link 4s is the 1 Megaclops. I want to talk about these 2 cards real quick for a second. The 1 Megaclops, obviously everyone knows what this does. Sometimes you make this instead of the Zexal. Card's insane. It's very good spot removal. And then the last card I really want to talk about. So one thing I found out today in testing was for the access code talker, was like when you go to use Tierra's effect, when you send 3 cards from your extra deck to your graveyard, and then you somehow can go into this, like you heat a Link Climb or whatnot, and then the Tierra will send different attributes of Link monsters. Pay down here, babe. Because if you look down here, there's fucking Earth, Fire, Light, Dark, Earth. But the Tierra will can send multiple attributes of Link monsters, so that you can Link Climb into this and then pop more cards. You know what I'm saying? So that's like one of the niche things that people probably don't think about, because I looked up a couple deck lists before I built this, and I was like, I didn't see anyone talk about that. So yeah, dude. So that's kind of my thing on the deck. There's no real combo. You know what I mean? It's just kind of, you play, you read the cards, you read the game state is the most important, obviously, thing that you can do. But this deck goes both ways, second and first, which I wasn't mad at losing die rolls like I was earlier with Guru in the day, because I was just like, Jesus Christ, dude, I can't fucking win a die roll, dude. Sick. And yeah. But yeah, dude. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope Infernoid's one of my favorites. They're my main Dragon Rollers. Which was one of my favorites. But yeah, dude. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate it. Cheers.